It's not especially common for Pokemon players to continue their Nuzlockes into the postgame, and it's not hard to understand why. You've just spent hours planning an Elite Four and most likely just sacked a good chunk of your Elite Four team to the champion. So yeah, it makes total sense that you don't want to keep playing. Me personally though, I'm a little bit different. I view postgame Nuzlockes in the same way that I view the obligatory 2:30 PM shit break at my job. Not everybody likes it, but it's an important part of my life. So after 100 in-game hours and a painstaking hardcore Nuzlocke, I took it upon myself to play Sterling Silver's crack smoking, glue sniffing, and thoroughly EK pilled postgame. For those who may need a quick refresher, Sterling Silver is a difficulty ROM hack of Pokemon Soul Silver made by AJ the Dragon with a ton of challenging fights and extra content. The main game is one hell of a Nuzlocke in itself, so if you haven't seen my video on it, I'd recommend checking that out so you can get an idea of what this hack is like. This video is a continuation of the hardcore Nuzlocke I had previously completed, so we're going to pick up where we left off. If you've ever played the post-game of Heart Gold Soul Silver, you'd know that Kanto fucking sucks, and AJ agrees, so Sterling Silver's post-game completely does away with it. Instead, we go on a journey through some of Johto's lesser explored areas, concluding with a return to the Indigo Plateau for round 2 of the Pokemon League. The developer was kind enough to give us 3 encounters and 10 more heart scales before anything really gets going, which is very welcome after a pretty resource-intensive Elite Four. On Route 28, I decided to surf for a guaranteed water-electric type Floatzel, since a fast Volt Switch guy with Swift Swim seemed pretty ideal for an all-doubles Elite Four rematch with a fight in Permanent Rain. I considered taking Grass and trying to get Ninjask, which I think would have ultimately been better, but was not guaranteed. There's 2 Met locations on Mount Silver, albeit the tables are exactly the same. With a lot of dupes in the box, we have a solid chance at encountering some great Pokemon. Metang on the outside is a welcome inclusion of the PC, and it sets me up nicely for my cave encounter. I now have great odds for Garchomp in the cave, but in typical Jude fashion, I pull a Dragonair whose IV set looks like a dismembered social security number. Dragonite is, not great in this game, and Garchomp would have obviously been fantastic. The first stop on our post-game journey is the Olivine City Cafe. Here lies an optional, but very worthwhile series of double battles with Elisa, Flannery, and Winona. They guard all 3 choice items, which will be invaluable for the rest of the run. In order to obtain them, you will need to beat 3 double battles without changing out your team, although you are able to heal up and switch around your leads and items between fights. The key to tearing this gauntlet open lies with my starter Typhlosion, who gets the move Eruption for the postgame. Between the massive spread damage and the ability to boost it even further with Flash Fire, it was entirely possible to build a team around such a powerful tool. I decided to head into the Elisa fight first, so here's how I set up the Carnage. I lead with Metagross and Hitmonlee, with Metagross being pre-damaged to die to Earth Power from Raichu and Fire Blast from Electivire. This means that I can fake out Raichu to break its Focus Sash and switch Typhlosion into my right slot. Electivire's Fire Blast can't miss Typhlosion because of no guard, so we can always absorb the move from Electivire, powering up our Flash Fire ability. We now have a boosted Eruption online, so you can probably guess what happens next. Beating Elisa gives us the choice specs, an item which I can immediately proceed to slap on Typhlosion for the Flannery fight. So yeah, the carnage will continue, and I'm once again asking to cue the montage. Winona was by far the hardest fight of the gauntlet, mostly because I couldn't just Type Blast the entire thing, so I knew I was going to need a real line. Hitmonlee and Metagross can also lead on this fight, although the routing is definitely going to be a little bit different. Hitmonlee can detect to draw on a double target, allowing for Metagross to kill Aerodactyl with Meteor Mash. Crobat is in next, so I switch in Aggron to take both flying moves, while Metagross kills Crobat with Zen Headbutt. Flygon hits the field, so I protect Aggron then switch Metagross out for Levitate Magnezone. Salamence gets into the left slot as I Aurora Beam Altaria down to its Focus Sash, but I make a crucial mistake. My idea here is to switch into Metagross, who can take the Dragon Pulse from Flygon and either the Blizzard or Draco Meteor from Altaria. The issue here is that I had taken a break from this game and completely forgotten that a lot of powerful moves like Draco Meteor were changed to do recoil damage to the user. This means that when Altaria chooses to click it, it kills itself and my Volt Switch goes into Flygon, who is of course immune to it. I was trying to avoid Empoleon coming out early, and because of my blunder, that's exactly what happens. My Metagross is staring down the barrel of both Hydro Pump and Earth Power from Empoleon, so the obvious play here is to go Hard Ments into the Metagross slot. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, I can switch Ments into the Metagross slot, and I can Aurora Beam Magnezone. Or, oh fuck, you know what I'm actually gonna do? Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna switch Ments into this slot, and then I'm gonna go to fucking Lee. Alright, hold on. Alright, hold on. Let me cook. I got it. We gotta play. Nice. EP. Do not crit. That's a crit. Oh my god, you fucking bastard. Alright. I gotta drop a Draco on Flygon here. I think we barely live the recoil. Fake out Emp. We have just Articuno in the back. Oh no, fuck, I just... I'm so fuck. I'm a fucking idiot, dude. A 50-50 into a max roll crit feels pretty bad, but killing myself with Draco Meteor is probably worse. If I kept playing like this, our post-game journey was quickly going to come to an end, so now I gotta lock in. This at least gives me a free switch as Articuno hits the field, so I bait into Aggron and switch it Magnezone. I then dodge a crit on Hitmonlee, which is probably my most expendable team member at this point, then slow Volt Switch on the Articuno to take it out, then double up into Empoleon with Typhlosion and Hitmonlee to escape the Cafe Gauntlet. The next task on the post-game to-do list was to head out to Mount Silver and take on Platinum's Battle Frontier. This is set up like an Elite Four, so you lock in a team to take on the 5 Frontier Brains, and once you hop over that ledge, there's no going back. Here's what the squad looked like. Typhlosion was the obvious #1 overall pick. He was the LeBron of my main game run and was already putting up huge numbers in the postgame. Offensively, the fire ground typing is as good as it gets, and the extra immunity from Flash Fire makes it a strong pivoting option. Gengar was going second overall due to its ghost type, levitate ability, and access to Trick Room. Gengar is a PP stalling demon with the right partners, and we were going to put on a clinic in that department. Flygon quickly rose to the mantle as team member number 3 after Salamence died, and for good reason. There's a lot of dragons running around Mount Silver, so having a fast one that can neutralize them is very nice. At level 100, a plus speed nature on Lionel is huge since it's outspeeding every base 100 speed Pokemon that doesn't have a plus speed nature. I then pivoted to some more defensive options, so Tyranitar was pick number 4 with great bulk, battle armor, as well as enough power to make sure that it wasn't passive. My last 2 team slots were reserved for Skarmory and Slowking. These guys do pretty much the same thing and get the elusive combination of battle armor, recovery moves, captivate, and rest, which enable some of the most degenerate PP stalling you have ever seen. Thornton was the first hurdle of Mount Silver, and the main challenge of this fight is routing around Crobat's Shadow Tag and beating the Soldew Latias, which is both obscenely strong and very specially bulky. I lock into Choice Specs Blast Burn to get things started, letting me take kills on both Scizor and Ursaring. Once Regirock comes in, I use Skarmory's Roost to drop my flying type and stall out Rock Wreckers, and eventually Night Dazes so that Flygon can come in and kill it. Electivire hits the field next, and the recoil damage I took from Blast Burn ensures that the PB stall I set up with Typhlosion and Gengar is completely safe. Once Electivire is out of moves, I set up Trick Room with Gengar, then switch in Tyranitar, who kills it, Crobat, and Latios to round out the fight. Dahlia is probably the hardest single battle in the entirety of Sterling Silver. AJ was smoking symbiotes in the builder, constructing a team that features some absolutely egregious Pokemon. The Focus Sash Speed Boost Blaziken lead and the Salac Berry Gut Slacking stand out as difficult Pokemon to deal with, but these pale in comparison to Truck Dose. This Bright Powder holding monster dishes out extremely powerful Hurricanes, can Volt Switch out, and of course boost up with Ancient Power. This is the single hardest Pokemon to deal with in the entire gauntlet, demanding risk if you want to get through it. I PB stall the Blaziken with Gengar and Typhlosion, and we can run it out of Earthquakes, Flare Blitzes, and Superpowers before forcing it to U-turn out. This is a pretty similar PB stall to the Morty fight in the main game, where you force U-turn and use it as a tool to chip damage and then kill the enemy Pokemon. This is exactly how I beat Ludicolo, forcing a U-turn from the Blaziken at +6 speed and 2-hit KOing it with Typhlosion. Blaziken comes back in and I need it to speed boost again before it U-turns out, so I use Dig to go under and allow it to get its speed up. It can now outspeed Typhlosion and U-turn out, so I'm able to chip Slacking with Earth Power before I use Eruption to kill it, just to make sure that that pesky little Salac Berry doesn't activate. Blaziken comes out once again, so I use the incoming U-turn to get my Flygon in, who outspeeds and kills Dahlia's Flygon. Dusknoir hits the field, so I 1v1 with Skarmory. At this point, I'm sure you're getting sick of hearing it, but Blaziken comes out again and U-turns into Zapdos. I can stall the Hurricanes with Tyranitar and Typhlosion, although I end up having to sponge the last one with Slowking since we get very low on HP, but it misses, which is kind of a saving grace for us. I switch in Flygon, and it's now time for the second PB stall on Zapdos. If you've played Emerald Kaizo before, you probably know what's about to happen. Alright. Fuck it, man. Flygon, I believe in you. I believe in you. Oh god, I'm so nervous. Okay, that's one. Okay, that's two. Oh god. Okay, that's three. Oh fuck. Okay, I think we're good now. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, Zapdos. That's four. Crit. Don't care. Last AP. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Once it's out of Ancient Powers, I can go into Typh and then either hit it through the Bright Powder or just hang out until it struggles, but we're able to connect and then kill Blaziken for the W. Duroc is probably the easiest fight in the gauntlet, with his team being pretty tame compared to the others. Staraptor dies to an Eruption from Typhlosion, Betagon, and Polion. I use Slowking to skillfully mash Slack off until it dies from the Hydro Cannon recoil and Life Orb damage. This brings in Spiritomb, who is completely stalled out by Skarmory and Slowking. I then kill it with Tyranitar to bait Galadin. This lets Gengar come in for free and take it out with a Choice Spec Shadow Ball. I pivot through Typhlosion into Tyranitar to set up a 1v1 on Entei, then take out Probopass with Flygon, and we're 3/5 of the way there. In between the Duroc and upcoming Argenta fights, you can head out to the grass on the outside of Mount Silver. Here, you can pre-sleep your team using Rest on the wild Pokemon. Pre-sleep became a huge part of our plan for Argenta, who proved to be another extremely difficult fight in the builder. There's 3 hacks items on this fight, each of which can be extremely problematic if you're not careful. The King's Rock held by the Salamence means that it can farm you with flinches, and the Bright Powder on the Togekiss means that it can farm you with evasion. Uxie's held Focus Band combined with U-turn and 1-turn Yawn means that it can create a ton of issues if you don't respect it. This team is also rounded out A focus sash to break on Gengar, perfect coverage on Aggron, and a complete raid boss in Cosmic Power Wailord. Argenta leads with Gengar, so I lead with Typhlosion, who flings a King's Rock to break the focus sash, then lets off an Eruption for the KO. This baits in Salamence, and I go Flygon on the Earthquake and drop a fat-ass Draco. Wailord is next, and I can completely PP stall this guy out with Slowking, but I make a big mistake during the stall. I needed to be pre-slept and at full HP to safely get a Toxic off on the Focus Band Uxie. This could have been done while Wailord was wasting its rest PP, but I have a humongous brain fart and wait too long and take struggle damage. This means that I can no longer live a Shadow Ball after a Psychic drop, and we get the novelty of having to raw dodge a 10% chance. At the very least, Flygon can come back in on the last struggle turn and chain kill Aggron with Headlong Rush. The defense drops mean that I am dead to Psychic from Uxie, and I can go into Tyranitar for free. With pre-sleep, we can force U-turn and absolutely snipe the Bright Powder Togekiss with a Zoom Lens Head Smash. I pivot through Gengar to bait another Psychic, and here we go again, dodging some dumb shit. Hold it, please. Yes! Oh, we're just never punished. We're just never fucking punished. After getting the Toxic off, Skarmory and company can stall out the Uxie while the Toxic damage racks up and we're home free. Palmer is the Frontier Brain final boss. Despite his status, his fight is actually pretty free. The main threats here are Water Absorb Heatran, Rockhead Regigigas, and Thick Fat Dragonite, but it's nothing we're not ready to deal with. I lead with Skarmory to handle Regigigas and skillfully mash Roost until I can farm 4 close combat drops. On the last close combat, I hard switch in Gengar and kill a Sludge Bomb. Cresselia is a total stall victim, and I can get positioned for a Specs Earth Power Type Blast on Rhyperior. Milotic is another stall victim, which brings in Heatran. I run a little pivot cycle to get Flygon in, then kill Heatran with Headlong Rush and Dragonite with one last Draco Meteor. Somehow, someway, we have escaped Mount Silver. There's a few things to do before the next round of fights, so let's get to it. I kill Mega fucking Rayquaza, then head out to Beltrime Trail and Bell Tower for 2 final encounters. Speed Boost Blaziken and Ghost Psychic Levitate Mismagius are both promising additions for the Elite Four rematch. There's 2 more boss fights to clear before we go though, however, and they block some seriously important rewards. The first fight I do is a back-to-back with a Wild Ho-Oh and Giovanni. You are locked into the same team and not healed in between fights, so longevity and recovery are very important. Giovanni's battle takes place in Permanent Sandstorm, and his team is a treat, including an Intimidate Choppleberry Tyranitar, Rockhead Aerodactyl, Sandvale Dugtrio, Dragon Dance Garchomp, Volt Beam Gengar, and of course, a fucking Mewtwo. I dust off my old pal Donphan, and you know, he does the funny thing to Ho-Oh. After taking down the big bird, we go straight into the Geofight, and my sweet prince Toddfan is able to completely PP stall the Tyranitar. I get Flygon in on the last struggle turn to kill Garchomp, then beat the incoming Gengar with Muck, who I then sack to Dugtrio for a free switch. Skarmory 1v1s the Dougie, then bows out on Mewtwo. The only remaining fights after this are doubles, so a Skarmory sack is completely fine here. Godspeed, brother. Skarmory's Valiant Sacrifice sets up a Choice Banded Sucker Punch KO with Absol, inviting in Geo's last Pokemon Aerodactyl, who is easily beaten by Steelix. This was a clean but costly victory, and beating Giovanni unlocks the TM for Protect, a huge asset going forward. Getsus is the final fight before the Elite Four rematch, and this double battle is the perfect place to take our newly minted Protect TM for a spin. His team features some newcomers from Gen 5 and Hydreigon, Kofagrigus, Beartic, and Volcarona, who have all been backported into the game. A Virtuous Type Blast and a Volt Switch from Floatzel means 2 kills right off the bat. Volcarona and Beartic come out next, so I erupt again for some chippage on the Beartic, then switch into Floatzel and Crobat. This should be a double kill here, but there's one problem. And then U-turn should kill this. From here. Wait, this is fighting type? It does not say that in damage calc. And my Floatzel is very dead to Beartic. Unfortunate wouldn't even begin to describe this situation, because Beartic can target either slot here, and my potential E4 Floatzel is at serious risk of dying. I think I go Magnezone here. Please just Ice Punch my right slot. This is gonna kill our Mystic Water or E-Belt. Oh god, man. Oh! I switch, then Volt Switch again to regain my tempo. And Flygon plus Crawdaunt can take kills on Hydreigon and the Coffin to round out the fight and get us access to Stealth Rocks. It's now time to take on the second Elite Four. This is the pinnacle of crack smoking, a magnum opus of drug-induced team building, if you will. 5 double battles, legends and mythicals on every team, not to mention ultra high power recoil moves, entry hazards, and weather effects all running rampant. Let's meet the 4 horsemen of the Age Apocalypse. Will has permanent rain, because why not? His lead Electivire loves to dish out cross chops and thunders, and even Expert Belt knockoff can kill some of the psychic types you might be trying to kill it with. The Mismagius next to it has a Focus Sash and pretty much perfect coverage. Metagross and Celebi can both be issues, as they can boost up with Meteor Mash and Ancient Power respectively. The 2 Pokemon that make this team brutal, however, are Porygon Z and Swampert. As I'm sure you know, being able to bait killing moves is a crucial part of double battle strategy. Porygon Z has the move Agility, a setup move that has special AI in Generation 4. In a double battle, if both of your Pokemon are faster than this Porygon, it can ignore a kill and select Agility over it. This is extremely scary on a Pokemon that dishes out Psycho Boost and Hyper Voices being powered up by adaptability and a Life Orb, not to mention extremely strong electric coverage with Zap Cannon. Swampert is somehow even more terrifying, outspeeding everything in rain with Swift Swim while dishing out boosted Hydro Cannons and Headlong Rushes. A Rindo Berry plus Ice Punch make it very difficult to beat with a Grass type, and 1 turn Yawn means that you have to be baiting kills to make sure that Swampert doesn't terrorize you with sleep. If you can get past Will, you can dance with Koga. A Focus Sash Heracross that can U-turn out is a nasty lead to deal with under any circumstance, but it gets even more complicated with a Shadow Tag Banette in the other slot. This Banette has Will-O-Wisp, meaning that we get to unlock another Gen 4 AI quirk. The AI will try to status the Heracross to activate its Guts ability on turn 1. This means that you get to make lines that have to account for Banette missing or hitting the Will-O-Wisp, which can conversely cause the Heracross to live or die on the first turn. Darkrai and Crobat also give Koga's team more speed and offensive juice, packing strong coverage and the ability to seriously disrupt your lines. Rhyperior isn't too crazy, but you have to be mindful of Stealth Rocks, which will soften you up for the Tailglow Manaphy in the back. This monster can boost up and hacks you to death with spread damage Muddy Waters, so you better be careful. Bruno, somehow, someway, might be even worse with permanent Sandstorm and a Life Orb Sandveil Aerodactyl that deals a fuck ton of damage and can dodge any move that checks accuracy. This team also includes disgusting sets on Steelix, Gallade, and Flygon, all of whom can really disrupt your team. The next terrorist is a raid boss Registeel that can set up with Cosmic Power, and just randomly, Bruno's roster is rounded out by an absolutely disgusting Ground Ghost Thick Club Marowak with 100 base attack. Its entire moveset has special AI quirks, and it does obscene amounts of damage. At least one of Marowak's moves could kill most of the Pokemon in my box, and crits killed quite literally every single one of them. Switching into this thing is a death sentence, so you have to chain kill it, which can be very difficult to do depending on what is on the other side. Aaron is probably the most reasonable of the Elite Four fights, but it's not saying much. She leads with an Electric Steel, Vintage White adjacent Electrode, and a download Focus Sash Lucario. there's a Guts Dragon Dance Ursaring in the back that's going to kill everything on your team once it sets up and that Flame Orb comes online. Gyarados is here to terrorize you with perfect coverage, and the Filter Ho-Oh with Charty Berry is extremely hard to break through. Once you've dealt with all of that, there's an effectively unkillable Sableye in the back, which will burn you, knock off your items, and wear the remainder of your team down if you don't have a plan. If you can make it past the 4 horsemen of the AJ-Apocalypse, you get the pleasure of fighting Red. His 2 leads are returning cast members from the main game, but both are buffed. The Venusaur is shiny and has literal perfect coverage, and the Dialga, well, yeah. This Dialga has the move Roar of Time, which is reworked to do recoil while keeping its massive 150 base power. Dialga's Magic Guard ability means that it doesn't actually take the recoil damage, so it can click the move with 0 recourse. Switching into this move is a death sentence, since there's no fairy type in this game, and Roar of Time is frankly so strong that it legitimately chunks a lot of defensive steel types, who would otherwise just get incinerated by the Fire Blast that this thing can also dish out. Once you've gotten past Roar of Truck, you need to deal with a super bulky Lapras, Raichu, Kangaskhan, and last but certainly not least, Lugia. This obscenely bulky monster rocks the combination of a held Flame Orb and Marvel Scale, taking its bulk to astronomical levels. It also has Recover, so if you don't respect it, this thing can completely stall you out. It goes without saying, but this Elite Four was going to be a massive undertaking. But there is no reward without risk, and if this attempt went all the way, I'd be just the second person in the history of everything that has ever happened ever to take a run from New Bark Town to the Elite Four rematch. After about 3 weeks of procrastinating and about another 3 weeks of planning, here's the team that I put together. Crobat has been on every single rematch team prior to me running this, and by every single, I mean all 2 of them, which were done by the same person. Shout out to Intercom. It was no surprise that Crobat was making the cut for our team, with it being one of the best fast pivots throughout the entire game. Metagross was team member number 2 to give us a defensive backbone with its steel typing and huge physical bulk. Plus the stab meteor mashes and explosion potential later in the Elite Four were just too good to pass up. Flygon was team member number 3, a great pivot with a fantastic mixed attacking move pool. My Flygon having a plus speed nature proved to be crucial in hitting some speed benchmarks, and it likely doesn't make the team without it. Absol was team member number 4 with its dark steel typing, making it another great pivoting option. Access to Stab, Sucker Punch, and Perish Song were also huge assets. Groudon was a bit of an unorthodox pick, but was kind of exactly what I needed. Shell Armor provided a crucial critical hit immunity, and Water Dark is a really nice stab combo for this Elite Four. Skinny Pete had almost perfect bulk, so you know the baiting was on point, and Crawdon was a huge glue guy for the squad. What might my last Pokemon have been? I mean, surely the perfect IV starter Typhlosion made the cut? Wrong. Maybe Aggron, Blaziken, Floatzel? Broad. What about one of the ghost types? Wrong. Allow me to introduce what I think is one of the best Pokemon for the Elite Four rematch. Guts Hariyama. This guy is crazy bulky, offers strong fake out support, powerful item removal and coverage with knockoff, and can heal itself up with Drain Punch to mitigate some of the burn damage you'll be taking in battle. These traits alone make it really solid, but Hari has one other party trick up its sleeve that sets it apart from pretty much every other Pokemon in the game. With the Guts boost and Stab, Focus Punch does unholy amounts of damage, and you can realistically set it up in doubles since you can just bait kills into the other slot. In spite of the massive planning session, there was still plenty of risk with how many switch-in and move selection combinations were possible in all these double battles. I don't think that any amount of commentary can capture the sheer intensity of the Elite Four rematches, so I'll just let Past Jude take it away from here. Okay, leads with Missy and Evire. We are leading with Absol and Hari. Absol is going to draw in a double target here. We are going to knock off the Mismagius, and that is going to set up later in the fight. This is all doubles, odd, which is fucking crazy. So this is going to get the Missy to Sash. It's not going to kill it. And we are going to set up for the first Hari Blast of the E4. This is very, very important. Into Crobat, and we're going to lock it in. Take the double easily. Good night, Evire. And you'll notice we have the Shell Bell on Hariyama. That is very, very important for our baiting. That is going to keep this guy healthy. Okay, Celebi is coming in next. That is perfectly fine. We will knock off the Celebi. We will protect. We can crit this. It's okay if we do. But also completely fine if we don't. Okay, that gets rid of the Tanga Berry, and you'll see the Shell Bell here keeping us good. Now, we are going to set up the next Mon. So we are going to go into Crawdon in the Hari slot, and then we are going to U-turn to kill Celebi. Okay, and now we're going to go into Absol. Perfect, and this can either be PZ or Swampert. Okay, early PZ, this is where the fiction comes in. Because we have to try and prevent agility overkill from this Porygon. Now, it's always seen kill on my Crawdon with Zap Cannon. But basically, the agility over kill thing happens when both your Mons are faster. But because Crawdon is slower, right, it's not going to happen here. So we'll switch out Crawdon for Flygon, and then we'll just protect Absol here because it's still baiting a kill from Missy. And we're actually just going to have to use our get out of jail free card here with Missy on the Sash. So now this Porygon can agility, okay, because both the Mons are faster. So we're going to U-turn out to kill Mismagius, and our Absol is exactly 1 speed point faster than the Porygon and can outspeed and kill with Crunch. And then we're going to go back into Crawdon here for the last 2 Mons, the Swampert and the Metagross. That is a Swift Swim Swampert in Rain with Hydro Cannon and Headlong Rush. So yeah, basically go fuck yourself. This is a Life Orb Adaptability PZ that can agility overkill in doubles, which is extremely scary. But the early PZ line does mean that there is a little bit of fiction here. And this is a little bit of a scary turn because we're baiting a double into Absol. And Crawdon's going to have to hit a range here with Crab Hammer and Aqua Jet. It's a good range. And if we miss the range, we would have to lose the 50-50 on the Crobat switch-in for Crobat to die. So we're just going to see how badly Crawdon wants this shit. I know you got this, Skinny Pete. I know you fucking got it, man. I believe in you. Does he want it? Does he want it? Let's see. Okay, double up an Absol's perfect. Come on, come on, come on. You want it. We got high crit chance too. Okay, that's a good roll. That's a good roll. Okay, we will kill with Aqua Jet now, and we will go back into Crobat, and then we will just rinse and fucking repeat. Oh my god, man. That's the first big truck dodged. That was unfortunately like probably the worst line with that fight, just because we had different baiting. On pretty much every other baiting combination, this fight would have been completely riskless. But Skinny Pete is the fucking GOAT, man. He just wanted that shit, dude. He fucking wanted that shit. And he's gonna have to want it later in this E4 too, because the fights just do not get any easier, unfortunately. And that's well done. I'll be completely honest with you guys. It's just gonna get worse. It's just gonna get worse from here. We're gonna sink or swim here. That's just how it is. Okay, we are showing a kill to Heracross with close combat here on Crawdon. Crobat is not dead to anything. from Bandit. It's going to Will-O-Wisp, Heracross. This Heracross also has a Sash, which makes it, you know, even more annoying to play around, really. And basically our idea here is we are going to try and at least control Bandit for a couple turns in hopes of killing it. So we'll protect here, and then we'll Brave Bird the Heracross, and that's very important. And this Brave Bird damage is going to make us dead to one of Bandit's moves next turn. He can also just, like, miss the Will-O-Wisp here. We're not fucked if that happens, but as soon as the next Pokemon comes out, like, all hell could break loose. Okay, so he hits the Wispy. Okay. That's dead. This can be Rhyperior or Manaphy here. Okay, it's Manaphy. All right, we'll be drawing in a double and a Chronon because we're dead to Ice Beam, and it's a 50-50 for Double Edge or Shadow Force. We prefer Double Edge here because Bandit is going to die faster, and then we can start switching. But it can be either move. So we'll protect Crobat, and then try and hit the knock. Okay? Oh, fuck it, Shadow Force. All right, that is the worst of the two moves. But we'll get the knock here, and then we can U-turn on the Manaphy, and then we're going to have to go into Absol. The more we chip down this Manaphy, the less likely it is to set up with Tail Glow, and that's something we're going to be banking on. So going to Absol here, we'll take the Ice Beam and the Shadow Force. Okay. Goodbye, Bandit. Alright, and then this will either be Darkrai or Rhyperior. We should be showing kill to Manaphy with Muddy right now. And this is where things are going to get interesting because I need to go for knock here. So protect here. Ron is not dead to Focus Blast from full HP. Please do not drop me. Fuck. Hit it? Okay. Alright, we got rid of the Wise Glasses. That's good because it means Manaphy is no longer seeing kill on Absol. But Crawdon is dead to Focus Blast from Darkrai. Okay. Fuck, man. Okay, I'll protect on Crawdon. Ideally, we get Signal Beam. Let's Focus Blast here. We go to Hari. Okay, nice. Doesn't Tail Glow. Alright, I think we should go Bat here. I'm debating whether or not I should fake out Manaphy or try and kill Darkrai. I think if Crobat comes out next, Darkrai just becomes such an issue. I think I'm going to try and kill the Darkrai here. Okay, Focus Blast here is fine. Just don't drop. Okay, another Signal Beam here is so good. That's huge. Okay, good night, Darkrai. Okay, fuck, I would have rather had Rhyperior here. Alright, I mean, we have a double kill on Crobat, but we're also did a Brave Bird, so let's go to Metagross. But Crobat's also did a Brave Bird, so it can be either slot. Okay. I happen to know that Crawdon can take these two hits here. This is going to be Ice Beam and Brave Bird, and then let's kill Crobat. Do not freeze me, please do not freeze me. Obviously, Shell Armor on Crawdon, so not risking anything there. Besides the raw freeze, obviously. Okay, Crobat's down. Okay, Rhyperior in here. I'm gonna try and kill Manaphy. If we get a good roll on this, we can Bullet Punch it. That is a shit fucking roll. Alright. This is actually not a random move for Manaphy. This is gonna be Signal Beam. It's a random move for Rhyperior, though. But Hari just kind of eats this. I think we got it, actually. And then ideally, maybe we just crit this Bullet Punch. But it's not going to kill. Like, not even close. Yeah. Okay. Mega Horn here is good. Ari tanks. We'll get the Citrus too. Let's just fake out kill Manaphy and then Meteor Match Rhyperior. Doesn't see any kills. Hopefully just sets up rocks. I have no idea if Hari's did a crit here, if it targets Hari. Oh, yeah, I want it to rocks. I know Meta's not dead any crits. Fuck, okay, don't crit me. Nice, okay. Whee! That is a massive truck dodged. Dude, this fight's gonna get its own section in the fraudulent gameplay channel on my Discord. Let's do it, man! Crawdon is gonna fucking clutch up here like he's never clutched up before in his life. Okay. Arrow Steelix. This is a Sand Veil arrow. We can miss this arrow. We are gonna Surf on the first turn with Crawdon. That is gonna chip Steelix. And we don't really care if this hits or crits arrow. That's fine. We can absolutely not crit the Steelix here or else we're fucked. Like, prison shower fucked. I'm shaking. But let's fucking send it. Alright. Crawl out, buddy. You got this. Just don't crit the Steelix here. Don't care about that damage on arrow. Don't crit. Don't crit the Steelix. Don't crit the Steelix. Nice. Okay. That's step one. That's step one. Now we have to hit the crab hammer on arrow. We're gonna go into Crobat. Nice. Okay. He wants it. He fucking wants it. And guess what? Double kill right here. Boom. And good night, Steelix. Alright, this should be Flygon and Registeel here. Alright, this Registeel, I'm honestly just gonna pretend like it doesn't exist. We're dead to Superpower from Flygon and Crawdon. We're gonna switch Metagross in to the right slot in case it Dracos my Crobat. Okay, perfect. And Registeel is just gonna be nice. Be fucking nice to me. Yeah, because Steelix doesn't have good attack. This Crawl is also really bulky, right? Like, it wasn't even dead to the Rhyperior Mega Horn from full HP. You'll see later, but I have to pre-damage it to be dead to Cross Chop from Earth Ring. But we're gonna go Flygon here, and Crobat. Right, that's a completely safe pivot. Okay, Registeel's being really nice to me. That's good. Okay, we can kill this, and then we're gonna switch in to set up a kill on the Marrow. I don't think it really matters what mon I go into here, right? Yeah, so this Flygon's gonna die. This is the beauty of having a plus speed Flygon, is like I can just outspeed and kill this. And then we should be good for the Marrow, which is so truck. Oh, wait. Fuck. I don't have citrus on this. Wait, this is really bad. I just threw really hard. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, because, like, I'm dead to another S-Toss here. I forgot I didn't have fucking citrus on this. And any other switch was free here, too. I'm NGL. I'm going to have to switch in on the Marowak, which is exactly what I was trying not to do. It's like I could have gone Meta or Absol there, and like Mash plus or Mash or Sucker plus Giga Drain was so free on the Marrow, and we didn't have to really care about Registeel. That was a really big misplay, and I might be fucked. I'm NGL because this is a random move on Crawdon 2 from Marrow, so it can Shadow Force my Crawdon. So maybe we protect here and try and crit the Giga Drain, maybe, or see if we can get not Shadow Force. And okay, it's Shadow Force. We're just gonna have to take an educated guess here on what slot it's in. I mean, if we don't get S-Toss, Meta lives non-crit, and then we probably go Absol on Flygon. Dude, I threw really hard. That should have been free, but I think we just fucking send it, dude. Please, bro. You want this. 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 Come on. Just Shadow Force Absol. Seismic Toss Metagross. Okay. All right. We're fucked if it fucking Shadow Forces Metagross. Okay, on Absol. That's huge. Oh my fucking god, that's a crit. Good god, man. Holy shit. That's a quad resisted move, by the way. All right, we can kill with Meteor Mash from here. Ooh, holy fuck, man. Dude, my brain's like short-circuiting right now. I absolutely should have wiped there. I just got bailed. Really hard. Alright, man. We're almost there. This is a download Lucario plus Electrode. These two mons will always get the attack boost. Perfect. We will be baiting a kill into Crawdon, and then we'll EQ. This is going to kill Electrode through the Shuka Berry and get Lucario down to the Sash. We can get Gyarados or Ursaring out next. I would much prefer Ursaring. That is the best line for sure. And it means that we can do this fight deathless. Yep, Lucario down to Sash. Perfect. Okay, show me that Ursaring. Let's fucking go. Okay. Alright, now we will go into Crobat. On the Superpower, the recoil is going to break Lucario's Sash. Ursaring should cross chop into my left slot, and then we're going to kill it with Hariyama, and that's going to be 3 mons dead on this fight in the first 2 turns. So yeah, the recoil is going to kill it. And then we get the cross chop. Perfect. Good night, Ursaring. This is a Guts Dragon Dance Ursaring. It has fucking Dragon Dance. I shit you not. And then we should get Gyarados and Ho-Oh here. Which also means that Sableye is coming out last. Okay. So Hari is so fucking bulky that it's only ever dead to Brave Bird from Gyarados. And Crobat is also dead with the pre-damage to both Mons here. Specifically Sacred Fire and Brave Bird. So we will go Metagross in our right slot. And then we'll get a Gyarados, Brave Bird. Or it could attack Crobat, but we get it in meta. That's okay. Alright. Lefties. Very important. We are not dead to Sacred Fire from Ho-Oh, because our Metagross is plus defense nature, and this Ho-Oh is minus attack nature. Crawdon is holding a Lumberry, and it will also live the incoming 2 hits from the double target into Crobat, and then we are going to get a free switch into Flygon. And Flygon has a choice band, and we're going to fucking let it rain rock slides on these guys. This is a filter plus Charty Berry Ho-Oh, by the way. We have Lum for the burn. Shell Arm obviously can't get crit. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Alright, this is double random move. Don't really care. Let it rain, buddy. CB Rock Slide. It's not going to do a lot to the Ho-Oh on the first turn. Okay. Perfect. Now, with a little bit of chippage with Aqua Jet, we'll get the kill on Ho-Oh, and then the next Rock Slide is going to kill Gyarados. Yo, AJ is here. What's up, man? That's 2 dead and only Sableye left. And a big reason why I brought Absol beyond just the pivoting and stuff is because it gets this move, makes this Sableye just not fucking real, and then we can see just how badly Flygon wants it. Hey, not gonna Flygon. We're not dead to crit here. Fucking course, I say that and it crits immediately. Okay, we're good. Going to red, baby. We're going to fucking red. Let's do this, man. Let's fucking do this. Alright, Dialga, Venusaur lead. Hari, Absol. Bait double. Hari, blast the Dialga. Good fucking night. Hey, Raichu in next is completely fine. This will be Earth Power and Focus Blast from Venusaur. We can go into Crobat. And Hari just gets to kill another fucking Mon. Good night, Raichu. Okay, we get Kanga in now. This is interesting. Okay, we'll just double protect here. Let's Brave Bird the Venusaur with Extra Belt, kill that, and then we'll just Drain Punch the Hari. Or Drain Punch the Kanga. Now we get Rock Tomb here. Crit kills me. Nah, well. Guess it didn't crit. Alright, this should kill, surely. Oh my god, it lived. Assume that killed, I'm not gonna lie. Bro, Hari's on Fraud Watch. We're not dead to Lugia here, though. So what we can do is we can just protect here and then knock off the Lugia and then just get rid of the Flame Orb. So that's actually fine, right? Yeah, we got it, we got it. And then I think I'm probably going to be dead to Aeroblast now. But yeah, that Lugia has a Marble Scale, so getting rid of the Flame Orb is really nice. Because it just becomes a fucking raid boss. Deathless E4 round 2. That probably ain't happening, Chief. Because I'm getting double random move on the Crobat here, so... I'm not risking that. Double Protect would be insane. But, you know, 07s to the big bat. Let's get, what did I do here? I guess the question is, what's the best content? I mean, obviously blowing up my Metagross is the best content. But I think we just go Daunt for now. Like, he's looking at me. I'm thinking about it. I'm leaning Dawn, though. Yeah. Alright, we'll Aqua Jet this. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna die to Aero Blast. It's fine. Get some 07s for the chat for Big Nacho. God's greatest Hariyama. And then we'll have Lapras out. Just go Absol. I mean, just throw them at Lapras, and they don't win. Protect Explosion, right? So yeah, I'll protect here. Sucker Lugia with no model scale. This is gonna kill. Beautiful. And then we're just gonna see. You know what? Honestly, man, these guys have been such troopers, especially Skinny Pete, man. I feel like I should give him the chance to win, you know? Yeah! Alright, that kills Shirley. Okay. I'm free from this fucking prison. It's over, man. It's fucking over. What a game. Sterling Silver was fantastic from start to finish. I think it's up there with Vintage White as one of my favorite difficulty hacks. I really appreciate the game's commitment to being challenging, while also giving the player an ample amount of tools to work with, even within the restrictions that it's already imposing on the player. There's certainly a good bit of risk at times, but I think that's part of what makes it good. There's no fun in nuzlocking when you can't lose, and there's certainly no good content without a bit of suspense. Despite occasionally pulling my hair out planning, the postgame was a great time. In fact, almost as good as the 2:30 p.m. shit I took at work yesterday. I'd recommend continuing into the postgame if you complete your nuzlocke and still have most of your box intact. It's worth the time commitment and you'll have a blast. If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe and follow me on my Twitch channel where I live streamed every single one of these post-game fights. I'm currently jumping between Emerald Imperium and an Emerald Kaizo chicken run, so if you want to see the next video in the making, head on over to the old Twitch channel. As always, I hope everybody has a great day. Jude out.